Hello, Tuesday night. Welcome to our regular Tuesday night live. And give everybody a couple of minutes to join. And then take it from there. Let's see what's going on here. How are you guys doing tonight? Thanks for joining. Usually give everybody just a couple of minutes to join. Oh, thank you so much. You know, I love when you guys have your symbols, like our symbol, you know, the circle and the infinity. I love it. I think it's the red, you know, like everyone's telling me I look great. Thank you so much. No need for compliments, but thank you so much. But I think it's the red, you know, red is my color. Yeah, thank you. Just want to make sure, what time is it? Okay, 7:02, but I was a minute late, so I just want to give everybody a chance to join. I finally get to join your live. I'm always working. Nice. Thank you so much. All my live, this is why I post my lives for you guys. Just because I know, you know, we're all in different time zones. And this is such a global community that we have here. If you guys don't know me, I teach manifestation, mindset, coaching, and, you know, it's sort of it's not the typical law of assumption, law of attraction. It's, you know, quantum physics. It's combination of religion and, you know, religious concepts, rather spiritual concepts and everything. And it's all mixed in together, and it makes us think about the deeper things. I love it when people can make assumptions like, oh, I'm just assuming I'm a millionaire. If you can, God bless you. I know I couldn't. I can't. Most people can't, or would all be millionaires married to the love of our lives, because we can just assume it. It's a lot more work than that. It's daily work. I have just restarted my 60-day challenge, so I restart mine periodically. So I restarted, today's my first day, and so October 22nd will be or 21st will be my last day. What I found when I restart the challenge, and feel free to restart your challenge anytime you feel your goals will change. Well, obviously, my goals have totally changed. My love life goal has changed because the previous one I had in there had been fulfilled, because my goal was, you know, to be engaged to the man of my dreams, to, you know, a perfect guy for me. And that has happened. And now I have a different love goal, and I'm not going to share it. Obviously, it's about him, but you know, periodically review your goals. See how many of these already came true, and then sort of tweak them and restart the challenge, right? You're a different person all the time. That's the whole point of doing this work. You have to be different, right? What's this, Sally? Sally says in a sentence, I got the job I asked for on my return. We have so many job testimonials. I didn't even write this out now, but for today, but we had 2, I think, on the last live from last week. And then somebody who's been doing this challenge for a while sent me an update. She's been in this challenge for about 100 days. She doesn't want to give it up, right? It's 60-day minimum, okay? You do it for 60 days, but it depends where you are mentally. Because if you are at a point where you're low within yourself, you will find that you'll need more time to plant the seeds and do the work, tune into all the lives, participate with the group, in order for your mind, for the stability of your new identity to solidify. So she's saying, firstly, I got the job. I went for an interview. I was waiting for my first day to tell you. So she hasn't been working all this time. The wonderful part is I didn't even search for it. My best friend texted me last week. Her client's looking to employ someone full-time for the office. I accepted with such ease, even though I wasn't looking for it, and you know, I didn't have the qualifications. I'm not sure. I don't want to read everything, but basically she's saying, I'm excited to experience something that's so long overdue, and she's saying that it feels incredible. I also want to, she's had a complete life overhaul during this last 3 months that she's been doing this work, and she's talking about her dating life, her relationship fell apart. It wasn't a good relationship for her. It was a few years worth of relationship, but she let it go and she's so happy now. And then she's saying, thank you so much for my new life. I'm sending you all my love and gratitude. So Queen, I'm so happy. I didn't get a chance to reply to your email, but I'm so happy to hear this and see your tone of your email. I wish I could put the before and after. It's like completely different. Usually when people come to this work, they are extremely discouraged, okay? Or they're stuck, or they're like, I want to make my SP act a certain way. And then when they come out on the other side, they realize this is so much bigger than the SP, right? It's so much bigger than, trying to make somebody act a certain way or trying to make your boss give you a raise, or it's just a daily feeling of complete happiness, right? And, there isn't, for me, these testimonials are the best, for somebody to say, oh yeah, he texted me. Okay, yeah, he texted you, but what does that mean? What does it mean you'll be happy with him in a marriage day in and day out? We'll see, right? So getting somebody to text you is not a big accomplishment. Getting somebody to, getting someone to do something, it's not a big deal in my opinion. In my opinion, the big deal is to switch your feeling state and to be in a good mood every day for yourself, right? Like that's just priceless. Okay, so Sally, what are you saying here? I got the job after I stopped thinking about it, as you said. Yeah, I have my videos are grouped in playlists. If you guys, depending what you guys are focused on right now, manifest SP, manifest body. I have how to manifest. There are some important concepts there that you need to understand that you probably haven't heard before, because my account is not really mainstream manifestation account. So, I want you to go through that and see what changes can I make from what she's saying that are not the way I'm doing things right now, right? They're not the way I'm doing things right now, and I'm going to change these things because the way you're doing things right now is not producing results, right? So, let's see what I sort of want to talk about. If you guys don't know me, if you're new on this live, we're doing a 60-day challenge that's linked in my bio for a nominal price. You get to be part of this group. Please join the Facebook group for the 2 months that you're doing the challenge, because that's where we write testimonials about what we manifest and about the weekly challenge. Again, it's like the price of a coffee. I just want to make sure everyone's doing the work, right? So I care about journey and the circle that we've created. If I didn't, then I would just put a product out there, and whoever buys it, and whoever doesn't. And you have to, like, I want to serve as sort of like my approach to the work. I want that to be an inspiration to everybody who's doing my challenge. I know it produces results. It produced results for me, continues to do that. I've been transformed by this work, and I want to say, if I can show up and do it alongside you, so can you, because you're only doing it for yourself, right? So, Carla's asking, is the Facebook group fasting tomorrow? What is the fast? Yes, I posted about it, and I posted the meditation we are to do. It's slightly different than last week's meditation. If you guys don't know, the last 3 weeks of August, on Wednesdays, we decided to fast. Last week was a vegan day. It was about releasing. So we release anything we ingested from animals or from other life forms. And then we did a meditation. This week is essence. It means what we're taking in condensed form that has the most purity and the most value to us. So I suggested a juice only day, right? So obviously no sugars, and the juice has to be pure fruit juice or vegetable juice, or and then miso soup, because it's all like minerals and stuff. So if you want to do the fast that way, some people wrote to me and said, can I go straight to a water fast? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. If you can do that, you can go straight to a water fast. The water fast is next Wednesday actually, but if you can do it both Wednesdays, that's up to you. So I titled the theme for tomorrow Essence. I've done a juice fast before for 2 days, so I know I can do it. I'm more concerned about the water fast that we have to do next week, because I haven't done that. But we have the strength to deal with today's problems, not next week's problems. So I tend not to think too much in advance about how it's going to be when I get there. So no need to think about it, no need to worry about it, have anxiety about it. We're just dealing with what's happening tonight, with what's happening tomorrow, and that's it. Not even tomorrow, you'll get to it when you get to it. I actually ordered some juices, but I have to go pick them up tomorrow, so I'll just have some water in the morning and some coffee. You can have your coffee, but with nothing in it. And then, we'll take it from there. We'll just figure it out as we go along, but donate. If you're doing this challenge with us, donate. And then do the meditation that I posted at 8 p.m. last week. It was very powerful. Let's see. Then we talked about the Facebook group, and then we talked about, I have to mention on every live that I have scammers, people who use my videos and my picture to set up fake profiles and then message you guys and offer you, I don't know what, readings, or I never message anyone, any one of my followers, I never message, okay? If you need me, you have to contact me and we can chat, but I never initiate anything. So be wary and block everybody, please. I haven't lost any weight, still 126.6. I haven't weighed myself in like maybe a week and a half, but I don't think I've lost weight. We'll just double check. We'll do a new check, okay? Once in a while, I like to have these point checks and then I post them. It's not vanity of me showing you how wonderfully skinny I am. It's just about keeping the weight that I said I'm going to keep. And I'm doing this energetically. I'm eating the same things. By the way, I eat chocolate and I eat like whatever I want, but in very, very small amounts and only once in a while. But I don't deny myself anything. I don't think life is about denying yourself. It's all about controlling yourself. What's Sally saying? She also manifested for a friend to have a baby. Encourage it. That's great. I do eat meat. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of it though. I don't have anything that I deny myself, like I said, but it's very controlled. Everything is very controlled. Let's see. I want to talk about what I do during these lives is whatever emails come in or messages that come in that I don't get to do a video about. If I find they're to the benefit of the group, if I find, it would benefit you to know the answer to these questions, I just group them together and then I read them during my lives and I give you my input. So I have a few of them for today. And let's see. This is an email I got. I was supposed to get to it. My computer just went in standby. Sorry about that. This is an email I was supposed to get to, I think last week, and I didn't. I apologize because the screen has asked me, somebody I'm working with. So she's saying, I'm finding it. So she's manifesting a relationship and to be married. So I'm finding it really hard to affirm anything regarding my future and finding an SB. My issue is in the more westernized culture. I'm still considered young. She's about 30 years old. However, in my own culture and where I live, I feel like all the good, successful men I would like are already taken, which makes me not so young. I fear that there is no one out there left for me, and these dating apps generally do not have men from my culture joining them, and when they do, it is the bottom of the barrel ones. I don't even wish on my worst enemy. Whatever I do, try to affirm that I'm this and I'm that. I'm reminded the pool is empty, and given my track record, I would not be so lucky to find the remaining one. Please give me your insight. Okay, so this is relevant, right? Because it applies to many women, especially when we're approaching a certain age. I know me, when I turned 26 years old, I was thinking, my God, if I'm not married by 28, who the heck is ever going to want me? I know it sounds so silly in retrospect, but I know the feeling, right? So that age may have been pushed to any age, right? But I know there's this feeling that any woman experiences when she approaches that age that she's defined for herself, where, she's thinking, am I still desirable for marriage if I'm not already in a relationship? And I want to tell you guys, that is just a social construct, right? Like it's nothing. Like you have to work to convince yourself that your value actually increases over time. And I know like this is like mind blowing, okay? But I am an incredibly much better partner now than I was when I was 26. And it's for somebody else now, right? It's my fiance and I, it's our second time around. But I'm telling you, you need to work to convince yourself. And this is true, by the way, it's true. I know it for a fact to be true. As you're working on yourself day by day, your value actually increases, and what you're able to give to somebody's life and the happiness that you're able to provide a man, okay, it's increased with your level of maturity and with your ability to sort of detach from the past and be like constantly renew yourself. Please believe this, okay? She has a major limiting belief in this email that she sent me, and I don't know if you guys caught that. And she's saying, given my track record, I would not be so lucky to find the remaining one, the remaining man. Guys, I've done a video on this since, and this is the main concept that you have to understand if you want to manifest. Your past and current results have nothing to do with your future results. There's no such thing as a track record. There's no such thing as I've only met, every man I've met has cheated on me, has not committed to me, has not, there's no such thing. None of that matters. I mean, that's stuff that happened, but none of it matters. And it happened based on a belief that you had at that time, right? Like I was talking about myself and I said, manifested these guys who, they're well positioned in life and everything, but after their divorces, they don't want to necessarily remarry, right? And that's just a belief I had. And based on that belief, I would meet, maybe every single one, right? I'd be like, so what's your plan for, I'm not sure. I'm just, taking it easy. And then I would never want to see them again, right? Because I was looking for a life partner. But eventually when I moved past this belief that, I've met, 10 men who don't really want to get married, right? It doesn't mean that the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th one. In fact, what happened is everyone I met since I changed this belief did want to get married, right? Like every single one. It wasn't like, I found there's one guy who wanted to. No. Once you change this belief, so please, you need to erase from your mind anything that has any experience that you have had with the opposite sex, that you draw conclusions about the rest of the opposite sex, right? That's applicable to 10 men, to 20 men. How many men could you have possibly met? 50 men, 100 men, okay? 100 men is statistically insignificant, even in one city. It doesn't matter. You need to do two things, right? So what's the two things I said since the email? Number one, your value increases over time. Number two, whatever limiting beliefs you have about men in general have nothing to do with reality or with your future reality. By the way, she's saying men in her culture, there's a lot of that going on. And I want you guys to be open to meet any man who makes me happy, any man who's like, because if your heart jumps for joy when you meet him, this whole thing, like I'm looking for somebody from my culture, I'm looking for what is this, my eyes are hidden by the text, is this better? I'm looking for somebody, this is all like, it's all placing further and further reductions on the ability of the universe to meet your needs. So please define exactly what your needs are. And in the case of this queen, and in the case of a lot of women, is I need a life partner that can make me happy, can make me smile every day, is reliable, is loyal to me, etc. This is what makes me happy, right? What makes me happy is not to be courted by 100 men and sent flowers by 100 men. What makes me happy is being woken up with a kiss by one man that, has those qualities. Do you understand the difference? Let's just see this. Erin says, I've had a hard time finding lesbians. Everyone around me is straight. Erin, it's the same concept, right? It's the same. This is your past track record that you only bump into straight people. It's your past. You don't need to meet 20 lesbians. You just need to meet one that matches you, right? So I'm assuming that's the question. Forget about what you've met in the past. I just said that. Forget it. Forget what has happened to you in the past. Only keep your mind in the future. This is why one of our premise is the past doesn't matter, or something along those lines, and I can completely change my life in 60 days. Right? Because otherwise you couldn't, if it was measured, if the future was measured by what happened to you in the past. Somehow the opportunity will be created and you'll meet the perfect girl, Erin. Okay? Let's see. Where are we? I want to make sure some of these I read yesterday, and I just want to make sure I don't repeat. Okay, this one's about money. We talked about DSP for quite a bit now, so I want to move on to money. So she's saying, I had a question about manifesting money. This is a different person. I was watching your video on YouTube tonight, and it hit me that I have this money block, even though I come from a family that is well off. So when I was a little girl, my great grandpa died, and he left my grandma $5 million. My mother is one of 9 kids, and my grandma left each of her kids different amount of money. My mom receiving the larger amount of 1 million. My parents were already doing well, and they were making a lot of money. However, after my mom received the inheritance, my cousins, my aunts that used to treat me differently, calling me and my mom names, rich, spoiled, etc. My cousins would steal my personal possessions, and I witnessed an aunt intentionally break things that meant a lot to me. And then she's saying, she continues in her second email, and she's saying, ever since then, every need that I had was met, but it was in the form of the exact money I needed, or in a form of a gift. And she's saying, I wanted a designer purse, and then somebody bought it for me. I wanted something else, and then I got the exact amount to purchase that, and what have you. And she's saying, what do you think my money block is? Because I want to manifest a large sum of money. So this one is fairly obvious to everybody who is not her, right? So it's usually like this. We can all see it when you read one of these emails, right? When you have a large amount of money, and it's interesting because yesterday I was talking about winning the lottery, and if I give my brother $1 million and my sister $1 million, and one of them mishandled it, what's going to happen at the Christmas dinner when one of them turned a 1 million into 2 million and the other one is left with $0 or $10,000? So what I want to say is, in this case, it's obvious, like her limiting belief is, if she does manifest a large sum of money, everyone in her life, everyone in her family, there will be division in the family. And this is actually, by observation, automatically it's in her mind. Money is evil. Money is creating problems. Money is the root of family disputes. It's probably better not to get a large sum of money, because then everybody will want a piece of it. If I have more, like her mother got $1 million, if I have more than my siblings, then, you know, we're going to go through whatever she went through as a child when her mother inherited the money. So it's fairly obvious, right? Sometimes the reason you can't manifest a large sum of money is that your brain, and these are not necessarily conscious. The subconscious belief is, am I going to be able to remain in the same structure with everyone I love in my life if I manifest this large sum of money? Right? I know a lot of us say, oh my God, you know, I know exactly what I'm going to do when I win 50 million. I'll give my mom $1 million. I'll give my dad $1 million. I'll give my sisters, I'll buy them a house. I'll buy them. You know what? It's going to be way more complicated than that. Like way, way, way more complicated than that. And, your brain actually understanding the world, it knows it's going to be way more complicated than that. So a lot of people, you've also observed a lot of people who won large sums of money lose it all, right? So that's another fear. And then there is also the fear of safety. So large sum of money come with 3 fears. 1, you're going to end up worse than you did before. 2, it's going to dissolve a lot of the relationships with the people that you love in your life, or it's going to create rifts in the family. And then 3 is the fear of safety. Are you going to be safe with this amount of money? Are you constantly going to be bombarded by people contacting you, maybe showing up at your house, knock on wood, sending you letters, sending you requests, and you're just going to have to deal with that? Are you going to have to disappear and leave the life that maybe you like and it's comfortable behind, right? Like I know I have this 3rd fear, and I know like a large sum of money will have me rethink my whole life. And it's not like I love my life the way it is now. I'm not sure I want to rethink it. You know what I mean? So please pay attention to that if you're manifesting a large sum of money. What I suggest is think in terms of financial abundance all the time. Financial abundance, all my needs are met. In the case of this queen, like she's saying, I always manifest exactly what it is I want. Of course she does, because her brain is used. She grew up in a well-off family, and all her needs are always met. So in her mind, she made this association that all my needs are always met. If I need a Birkin right now, somebody's going to buy it for me, but I'm probably not going to get $50 million and buy my own Birkin, right? Fairly obvious. I love this story though, because the limiting belief is fairly obvious. I'm not sure you're asking me how you can conquer it. You have to look at your life and ask yourself, does my brain want my life to change? Right? And the answer is probably no. You probably are very happy with what you got going on in your life right now, and your brain will not permit that stability to be affected, especially if you grew up in money and you have everything you need. The brain wants to keep status quo always. All right. Let's see what else I want to take up. Okay, I'm going to take up one more. So I've done a video about why manifestations come when you forget about them, right? You've ever had one of those? You thought of something you really wanted, then it kind of like wasn't that important. You let it go, and then boom, you somehow got it. I had a lot of these, of course, with all things that didn't matter. And what I said in the video was, when you forget about it, two things happen. One is you let go of the how, like you're not thinking about how am I going to make this happen? How is this going to come? Am I going to win the lottery? Who's going to give me all of these things that I want? Is it going to come in the form of somebody providing them for me? Am I going to all of a sudden become an inventor and the CEO of the new Tesla? How am I going to get to this $100 million I want, right? So you're letting go of the how. And then the second thing that happens is you are acknowledging that you're not the one doing it. You're letting go of the timing, you're letting go of the how, and you're releasing this idea that you're making something. So somebody commenting, I feel if I forget about it, I'm not working on getting it. How can I forget about the home I want and I'm trying to manifest? So Queen, the way you have to think about this is you are not actually the one bringing forth this home. So I'm not sure what you mean when you say if I forget about it, I don't feel like I'm working to get it. How are you working to get it? Because the only way you should be working to get your manifestation of an object is to be very clear with the universe as to the object that you want by occupying space right around that object, by interacting with this object in your imagination. That's the only way, right? If it's a house, you're walking through the rooms. If it's a car, you're driving the car. If it's, you gotta bring yourself to the state that you're actually living that reality, but there's no other work involved. Once you feel that you've been clear enough, you shouldn't be doing this obsessively over and over every single day. There has to come a time when you let go and you say, okay, I've now lived in it, I've defined it, and I trust that you know exactly what it is I want. Use the 3-digit code, right? Ask the universe if you validated it. Watch the video that's pinned in my profile on the 3-digit code. Ask the universe, once you are able to use your 3-digit code, ask, have you understood my request about the house, right? And when it says yes, you have to drop it completely. Because this is not like a daily work on this house that you want. That's not how I've done it. And that's not how you should do it. You don't turn your manifestation into an obsession, then it takes control over you. Then you're no longer the one receiving the house. Then this house is this unattainable desire that is something you need to work for every day of your life. So you keep trying to manifest it, and all you get is more trying. It's out of reach. Don't make it out of reach. Just be like, I have this house. I've now clarified. I've asked the universe. I've seen my 3-digit code. Thank you. You know much better than me how I'm going to get this. I don't know, right? Like, understand. And in my video, I just say, I'm not qualified to figure out how I'm going to get this house. Right now, I can't afford it in this second. So I can't figure it out, because if I could figure it out, I would have already done it. I would already have this house. But since I can't figure this out, and since the infinite intelligence is infinitely more intelligent than me, then I'm going to release myself to it. That's all. That's all there is to it. I don't know. It's like the same as praying, guys, right? It's the same. Somebody goes to a temple or a church and say, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but you know, I'm giving it to you. Whether you think of it as God or whatever structure we discussed, whatever structure makes sense in your mind, that's fine. Because the infinite intelligence, the formless substance, does not need to be worshipped. It doesn't work that way. It's neutral. So, that was the concept of how you can forget about something and get it at the same time. I've also done a video on deleting the pictures of the old self, because this came up in my Facebook group for discussion. So basically what I said, a lot of our photos are charged with emotional energy. A lot of these moments that we take photographs of meant something to us, and grounded us into the identity that we had back then, right? If you had an identity with a person, and I'm not even talking romantically, obviously, if it's an ex, you should delete all your photos of your ex, especially if you're trying to manifest them back. My computer keeps going. Especially if you're trying to manifest them back, right? Because when you look at those photos, you're grounding the version of him and version of you that you were back then. So that's not what you want. You have to have an ability to move forward and believe the best days are ahead of you, not behind you. Okay, even when you say, oh, this great memories, I wish I was still in university, I wish I was still free, and that means you don't value your future very much. And from this point of mourning the past, not much can happen good in the future. Go through your photos. I don't keep anything that has an emotional charge. I've noticed that even photos that pop up on my Facebook from like 10 years ago or something, they, I look at them and I'm like, I'm just like hide post, and I need to go through my Facebook actually and do a massive cleanup, but I only have like 60 friends because I keep it only to like close family and friends that I actually know. Please don't send me Facebook requests for friendships. I won't accept it. I have just too much of my personal life there. And that moment, from 10 years ago, it's just like, wow, I remember how I used to feel in that moment. And because I'm working on myself and I'm feeling better and better all the time, I'm like, my God, I used to feel like shit. I don't like myself there, even though, I look younger and I look better or what have you. I would never want to go back there again. And my life wasn't horrible. I wasn't depressed. It wasn't any of that. It's just that it's better now and it will continue to get better. This is how your view about your future has to be. So please go and at least try to delete a few photos from the last 2 years or so. One of our queens is having problems with her baby. I don't know what advice I can give you there. The baby, by the way, they say that the kids in the first 7 years of their lives are in their mother's energetic aura. So try to have this calmness about you and non-reactive. I know this sounds so dumb, to like a frustrated mother of a baby. Definitely I have been there. I didn't sleep for like 2.5 years. So I don't know. I'm sorry, Queen. It will pass, and it doesn't mean anything, It just the joy of having a healthy baby. Keep your mind there. Keep your mind in gratefulness. All right. So we talked about the pictures. We talked about. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions because we've gone through a few concepts. If you guys want to ask me something about what I'm talking about, you can. I don't see all the comments, but I kind of see them when they come through. And I just want to make sure. Do you feel we should do shadow work or just future focus? I feel like it depends what you mean by shadow work. I only work on limiting beliefs. I don't think you should do anything else. You need to identify all your limiting beliefs, where they come from. I know shadow work is a bit deeper than limiting beliefs, but you don't need to do it in order to manifest. Right? I don't know how they do shadow work, Queen, like the trauma from the past, how they do it. Do they go back and relive it? I am fortunate enough, and I thank God every day, for this, but I'm not a victim of trauma. I'm not sure how trauma work is done. I This doesn't mean that I don't have limiting beliefs. We all do. So I sort of stay focused there. Hey Mona, when asking the universe using our 3-digit code, is it just for yes or no questions? Yes, but it's not for yes or no fortune telling questions, guys. Don't use the universe for fortune telling questions. Don't ask the universe, should I date John? Right? Should I date John? Will I marry John? Will John text me? Does John love me? Those are fortune telling questions. Right? Ask the universe whether or not you should take certain actions. It's for inspired action. That's what the 3-digit code is there. Can I manifest trading in my current car for a new car, even if I have a late payment? Cheryl, you can do anything you want at all. So, what happened? I'm going to tell a personal story. This is my mother's story. She's driving a certain car, and she just manifesting a new car. And what happens? All of a sudden, her certain car last year, that was at the time 8 years old, just stopped in the middle of the highway. It just stopped, like the engine just died. And she obviously, it's such a scary moment. She took it to the dealership, and somehow they discovered that the car had a recall. But it was like 8.5 years old, right? They gave her a brand new engine, like a brand new from the same, like it was the dealership of the car. The car wasn't in warranty. It wasn't like, obviously, it was closer to 9 years old, right? So they put a brand new engine into this car. They gave her like a Lexus to, replace the car for a while they procured this engine. And okay, I know the manifestation didn't come exact. They generally don't come exact, but she manifested a new engine inside her old car. By the way, your manifestations will come with something breaking, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendship, whether it's a physical car, or, there will be that moment of catharsis, that where something happens that is going to be unpleasant, but it's going to push you forward. I think we all know this by now, okay? Do not be scared of this unknown. Do not be scared, because you cannot create from the predictable future. The predictable future is the future that's based on past events, what we talked about. How to manifest the approval of my mother-in-law who opposes the marriage. I am from France. Keep your mind only on you dining with your mother-in-law, shopping with your mother-in-law, and doing activities you do with your mother-in-law if she was your mother-in-law, loving and in your life. That's where I would dwell. You can actually manifest people to be kinder to you and to be more agreeable to you, and just say, I don't know how to change the minds and hearts of people, but change the mind. And with your intention has to be good, right? Your intention has to be good. I love your son. Tell her in your mind, I love your son. I want to make him happy. I promise to make him happy. And just influence the formless substance such that she gets this message from you. I know this is a bit of spell work, but when it comes to the mother-in-law, I don't mind. I mind if you use it to make somebody be with you, but this is not the case. It works, by the way. Many people do this kind of work and people completely change their attitude. Just give it a try, but do it all the time for like 2 weeks or so and see what happens. People change their minds sometimes like overnight with this. Angie said, can I ask them to send through my manifestation, like clear my credit debts? Of course you can, but do not use the 3-digit code for that. Do not say, will you send my manifestation, and wait for a reply. You either trust that they will or you don't trust. If you don't trust, it's not coming. You don't need to ask for confirmation. SB is back and fully conformed, except for his finances. Do I release him or focus on his abundance? See, this is what happens when you put your SP as the object of your desire, as opposed to focusing on a fulfilling life. When you do the 60-day challenge, okay, in my bio, about having a fulfilling, abundant life, things tend to come together in all aspects of our lives, right? This is why I have 4 areas of our lives in the challenge. Your relationships have to work, your money has to work, your career has to work, your body has to work, right? It has to be healthy. Otherwise, you can't really enjoy happiness. The SP comes back and he's 100 grand in debt and he's always stressed out. You're not going to have a very pleasant relationship, right? Thank you, Regina. Thank you guys for all the compliments. It's the red. I think it's just, yeah, red is probably my color. I don't have too many red items, but a few people have said that. Thanks so much. So guys, please understand that the reality that we see is just information, right? So the reality that the information that you download and it gets decoded into your reality is based on something. It's based on your beliefs, and reality will filter out of your experience whatever doesn't match those beliefs. So if having an abundant life doesn't match your beliefs about money, reality's job, like the formless substance, is to filter out the experience of feeling abundant. And do you see what I mean? Like, here's my approach from the other end. Like, rather than telling you how to bring abundance, I'm telling you what's actually happening. What's happening is it's like a scanner. You're being scanned and you're being returned. You're being scanned and it's returned to you, scanned and returned to you. And anything that doesn't match with you will not be given to you. If you feel unworthy, unlovable, you are not all of a sudden magically going to attract a man who adores you. And sometimes it's actually confusing because you could attract that for a while, or what seems like that, but it's just another test from the universe to see, are you going to match this vibration, or are you still in the same vibration? And that's actually worse. You're worse off at the end of that, because when they go away, it's like, I wish I never met them, because now who am I going to replace them with? Let's see. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I get so many compliments today on my content. And I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. And even though my lives are posted, you're still taking the time to tune in. Does it matter the feeling or what you're thinking? The feeling is the only thing that matters. Your thoughts, you need to monitor them because they create the feelings, right? So it's thoughts first. Thoughts generate the feelings. Feelings generate actions and behaviors, personality. So if you could think anything and not have a feeling about it, then I would let you think anything you want. But it doesn't work that way, right? When you watch a movie about, I don't know, somebody dying and their dog being on their grave, like refusing to move, and that movie moves you and creates a feeling inside of you. It's based on an image, which is the same thing as a thought. It's something in your mind. That's how feelings get generated, right? The same thing when you have something positive happen. It has to start with a thought. And this is why we're monitoring thoughts. It's the only reason. Do not have negative fantasies about anyone. That is incredibly damaging to something that you're trying to create. Have you guys had those, when you're thinking something bad happening to somebody, maybe somebody you don't like? Don't ever allow yourself. Just say, no, this is not my thought form. I don't want that. I don't know where that comes from. And this is common with people. Do not allow negative fantasies about other people. It's all reflecting back to you and ruining your work. Sometimes you'll be given thoughts you don't even know where they come from, guys. That's the scary part, A lot of the people who are inclined in this work are very easily influenced by other people's thoughts. Yeah, choose your shows wisely. Sometimes I'll just turn a movie off. Like, no, I'm not. I can't tell you when was the last time I saw a movie. I only watch like sci-fi or like a light comedy, but the comedies now aren't funny, right? Like I rewatched Father of the Bride. I thought it was funny. Like when comedies were funny and they don't provoke any negative feelings or duality inside of us. It's just funny. We don't have that anymore. What if you're incredibly annoyed by your person and you live with them? It's a problem. Their physical presence is a problem. It's going to affect you. Like you can still move away from their energetic pull, but it's going to take a lot more than if they weren't living with you. This is why you have to be very, very careful about who you allow in your life, as your friends, as relatives you're close to, as your partner, the people you live with. It's incredibly important, guys. You can't, that's what they say, you're the sum average of the 5 people that you're closest to. Because it's not that you're the sum average of them, it's that you can't really move beyond that unless you put in a massive amount of effort. And most people can't do that because they have other things to worry about throughout the day. What if it's your coworker? Your work life should be pleasant, or you should look to change it. I'm going to be very frank with you guys. The workplace is somewhere where you spend a lot of time with. Now, you can manifest them away by just thinking positively and just thinking of a scenario where you go to work. But this is focused work. Now, all of a sudden, you're trying to manifest abundance. You're manifesting your SP. Now you also have to manifest this person away. You know, keep your work very high level. Everything always works out for me all of the time. That's my favorite affirmation. And then the way you think things work out for you is sort of like, how do you know they worked out for you? It's because there's a feeling of peace and harmony inside of you. That's what you're really searching in the end, whether it's with your SP, your abundance, winning the lottery, your health. All you're trying to achieve is this feeling of peace and harmony. And if you come to the point in your life where you have it, even if you don't have $50 million, believe me, you are in a really good position. That's where it's at. Like this feeling, and from that feeling, you can be in your mind and you can create anything. But if you have feeling of strife and conflict and coworkers and your spouse who's annoying you, your roommate, like it's very difficult. It's very, reconsider your social situations. Always ask yourself, is this person really worth staying in my life? Ask yourself in your head, whoever it is, can I call them less? Can I talk to them less? Do I really need them? Do they really teach me something new? Is my time with them going out for a drink well spent? What do I get out of it? What do I get out of hanging out with this other person going for a drink? What do we talk about? Do we talk about how men suck when I'm trying to manifest a life partner? Do we just recount horrible dating stories? What's in it for you? Always, right? What's in it for you? What growth is it for you? I moved home to help my dad while I've been growing so much, but his energy is awful now. Yeah, especially if you're doing the growth, you'll find that some relatives or relations that you had from before that you kind of knew how the interaction was going to go, they're going to become intolerable. If they don't change with you, it's going to be very difficult. And sometimes that's a sacrifice we have to make, right? If you're taking care of your father, or I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying be aware that, you know, as your vibration is changing, you know, yes, he's going to hold you back a bit, but you know, in the sacrifice that you're making, taking care of him, ask for guidance on how you can do better while not being attached to his daily reactions. How to be more positive and surrendered to life. You can start by watching all my content. Trying to help him grow because it's hindering me. Yeah, it's very difficult to make people grow when they don't want to. When you're the only one who wants them to grow. Yeah, I don't try to make anyone grow. And I don't try to, like the people who come on this lives, the people who I help, they all want to grow. And then I help them. But I don't try to bring anyone. Believe me, I have people like that in my life, and some of them I have to interact with once in a while. None of my energy or focus is directed on trying to make somebody change. It's not worth it. Guys, you understand, even though energy is unlimited, the vehicle through which we channel it is limited, right? Because we channel it through our field and ultimately through this body. And it's as big as this body, but anyways, most people have blockage in one or more of their energy centers. So it's even smaller than it was originally designed to be, the vehicle, the channeling of energy. So if you're adding more blockages with more people and their beliefs, it's not great. You know, it's not great. Always ask for space, ask for wisdom, ask for strength. These are the things you should constantly be manifesting. More patience, prioritizing yourself. This is where growth happens. Don't try to change people. It's not worth it. Okay. I want to touch on one more concept. Somebody asked me, can I manifest this and that if I don't believe in God? And, it's a difficult question to answer. I'm going to answer it anyways. I just have to choose my words carefully. If you don't believe in God, there's two things you could mean by this. The first thing is you don't believe in the God that has been presented to you by religion, right? Like you don't believe in the God that's vengeful and he's a punisher and, he's just going to give you good things once you get to heaven, if you get to heaven. So if you choose not to believe in that God, but you have your own concept of the creator, that's okay. If you don't believe the creator exists, this is going to be extremely difficult to justify manifesting or your ability to bring forth anything that you actually create in your life, right? Because for this structure under which you can manifest to exist, there has to be a creator, right? That's why I say the creator, God, the formless substance, and us. And the formless substance is this technology with which we interact, which is neutral and from which we can create, but we've lost our ability and we've lost our knowledge on how to do that. So if you don't believe there's a creator and we just evolved from some cells that got together and it's all materialism and nihilism, then how could your thoughts possibly affect your reality in order for you to manifest? Like, what would be the structure under which there's a mechanism in which you can throw your thoughts and the creative form brings it forward to you? So if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in a creator, if you don't believe somebody set up the game this way such that you have a certain power over creating reality, then you have no power over creating reality. It's all random. You may get lucky, you may not. Everything's a coincidence. Everything is just, so I'm struggling with you saying, what if I don't believe in God? Can I manifest? Seems to me the simple answer is no, you can't. Because your mental structure doesn't allow for it. In a random world, you evolved from an ape, and how could you manifest, right? That's all. It doesn't, like, my mind doesn't comprehend. In the source, but the source is the creator of this game, right? Somebody would have to set up the simulation for us to benefit from interacting with the simulation, right? So I'm okay with her not believing, or him not believing in the Christian God or in the Hindu gods or whatever religion she is. But you have to believe there's a creator. Otherwise, it's useless to listen to this. All right, let's put our hands together for the 369. If you guys don't know me, I do the 369 tapping with I Am a Winner. People like to do this with me with eyes open. I do the counting. I do it 3 times, 6 times, and 9 times. And we have quite a bit of lottery wins in this group. Nothing major yet, but I know it's coming. It's coming before the end of the year. Somebody's going to hit it big. Put your hands together. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.